Bitcoin is consolidating around $19,000 over the past 2 weeks, and it's getting ready to break out of an important trend line. Welcome back. My name is Chui. This is your trading and investing channel, Blockchain Thunder. Welcome back to the channel. In this update video, I'm going to show you why this breakout of this trend line is important for Bitcoin and what's the possibility for Bitcoin to break $20,000 in the near term. So let's dive right into it. So let's start with the daily chart. Let's recap my favorite trading pattern for Bitcoin. My favorite trading pattern for buying Bitcoin is this one. So this line acts as a resistance first. So we touch it once, twice, third time, break out, break down to retest this line, and then we form a new trend line. And this breakdown is my favorite buying pattern for Bitcoin, and this is RSI. So here is my favorite buying spot for Bitcoin. Now, after we form this trend line, we have this trend line, green trend line, act as a support first. So this we have touched it once, twice, third time, fourth time, fifth time, break down, and then come back and retest. However, we were not able to retest this green line because we have a horizontal resistance. Because if you take a look at this resistance, here is our resistance because we have a lot of touch points here. This is why the RSI was not able to surpass this level and it got a rejection. But this rejection is getting our another trend line to form. This new trend line is very similar to this old one, and if you take a look at it, we have starting from the pivot point here, we have one touch point, two touch point, third touch point. We are right now breaking out of this trend line. So what happens after we break out of the trend line? Usually when this kind of breakout happens, we will have a retest of this yellow trend line. So something like this. If you break out of here and then come back, at least do something like this and then starting to go up. So this kind of a retest is possible. Another one retest is that it could go down, break this yellow trend line to the downside, and this would be my favorite trading pattern. Therefore, if the RSI come back and break this yellow trend line to the downside, I will be starting to buy Bitcoin by a lot because it's my favorite trading pattern. Because when Bitcoin break this trend line, a lot of people lose hope and they will sell at a loss. But this is when the bulls starting to strike. So here is my favorite buying spot for Bitcoin. But this might not happen because Bitcoin the RSI could just come back and retest this yellow line and starting to go up. That's totally possible. So if we come back and retest this yellow line and we start buying a little, and then if it go up, okay for me. But if it go down, I'm starting to buy more. So that's my strategy. So this weekend, I bought some Bitcoin, and let me show you why I do that. Let me get rid of this lines. All right. So the reason that I bought some Bitcoin over the weekend is because of the BitMEX index funding. So when Bitcoin is going up to the upside, a lot of times the BitMEX index funding is positive, and I will never buy it when it's positive in the daily. But right now you can see that on Friday it synced to near zero, and then on Saturday it synced to negative bars. Right now it's hanging around at zero, so basically neutral. So I bought some Bitcoin when it's in the negative zone. Basically I starting to buying here around 18,900, and then a little bit more down here. So this is where I pick up some of the Bitcoin. And today, when the BitMEX index funding become close to zero, I sell some near this yellow trend line. So what is this yellow trend line? This yellow trend line is the price action yellow trend line. It forms a symmetric triangle, and this is one of the bullish pattern because we have a upside movement and then form this basically a triangle as a bullish flag. So usually we see this as a continuation of this bullish movement. So right now it looks like Bitcoin is getting ready to break out of this trend line, but whether Bitcoin break out of this trend line to me is irrelevant, as long as the daily is, if it's positive, I will start to sell it, but it's not positive yet right now, so I'm not selling it yet. So I'm still holding some of my position. So we'll see what happens for the next several days. If it become positive, I will starting to sell my positions. But of course, I also have my long-term position, which I hold from pretty long time ago. So I'm not worried about the small positions at this moment. So if we combine these two, the RSI looks like Bitcoin is starting to break out of the trend line, and then the BitMEX index funding is neutral and close to zero, and this two is pretty bullish for me in the near term for Bitcoin. So there's a possibility that Bitcoin will starting to retest the $20,000 in the next week, next couple of weeks. And also yeah, this is bullish, but right now let's take a look at the weekly, which is also another bullish signal. So this is the weekly chart. So take a look at this weekly candle. This weekly candle looks really bullish. Right now we have 10 minutes to close this candle. So this candle looks pretty good because we close at around, for RSI we close at around 84. That is pretty high, and this level, the high of this candle is higher than this one. The high of this one is higher than this one, and RSI, this one is 84.11 and this one is 84.06. So we have a little bit of a bearish divergence, but it's really minor for the weekly time frame. And this candle in the middle, the red one, we have a long wick to the bottom, a little bit of wick to the upside. So looks like we have some buying momentum from the bottom. So these are all good signs for Bitcoin. But the thing that worries me is the BitMEX index funding in the weekly. Right now it's positive. So there is a possibility that we might have a rejection again to the downside, and then we will bring the RSI to negative in the weekly. If the RSI can come back to the negative zone, it will be very bullish for the bulls for Bitcoin. If it stays positive for quite some time, just like this one, we might have a hard rejection and get our 30% to the downside movement. So we'll see what happens for the next couple of weeks. So let's take a peek for some of the altcoins because it looks very interesting right now, especially for XRP. So XRP on the weekly have a really huge pump. Right now it's consolidating, and the RSI is also close to the 86. So this is pretty high, but for the record, the RSI for XRP can get to really high level, like 95. So that is huge. We don't know what XRP will do this time, so I'll keep my eyes on it. This is Ethereum is also at a pretty high level, but it looks like still have some momentum along with Bitcoin. So I'll keep my eyes on this too. So the question is for you. Are you at Bitcoin? Are you in Bitcoin? Or are you in some altcoins? So leave your comment down below at the comment section. Before I go, I want to show you this news. This is S&P Dow Jones to make its own crypto asset index. This is huge. The S&P Dow Jones Indices is teaming up with the crypto data company Luca to create an index providing pricing information on a group of crypto assets. So this is huge. That means cryptocurrency is marching into the mainstream. And when this index pop up on the board of stocks along with all the stocks, people will be surprised and they will be starting to looking into the cryptocurrency world. So to me, this is really bullish. So what do you think of this news? Let me know in the comment section. Alright, so that concludes today's update video for Bitcoin. My name is Chui. This is your trading and investing channel, Blockchain Thunder. Thank you guys so much to come back to the channel. I wish you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video.